Hey, what's going on, guys? Koyomi Takanashi is back in the Sousai Shojo Teien line here, joining the team in their swimsuit versions. So we had the normal versions, the winter clothes versions, and now we've got the summer clothes versions. This one looking very nice. Koyomi-san looking very nice in her swimwear for this kit. As you can see, it's back to the smaller size box, but once again, as always, does look very nice. Let's go ahead and get into it here for today's video. So as always for the box art here for this one, like I said, really nice character illustration there with this signature on the bottom. It's just kind of a nice touch to add, and I do really appreciate the box art for this series. Always very nice to see. Kotobukiya just does great box art, I gotta say. Great model kits and great design there for the boxes. Here is what the end of the box looks like. Got all the titling and everything over here. 1/10 scale full action plastic model kit of Koyomi Takanashi in her swimwear. And then on the one side of the box in vertical format here, we've got another illustration with the model kit here, as well as a look at our included face parts that we're gonna have. And there you can also see a little bit about the optional hair parts as well. There's a look at the neck articulation and some detail images here, showing off some of the posability of the fully painted model kit there. But if we go around here onto the other side, here's a look at what the model is going to look like, just completely unpainted, straight out of the box like that. Still going to look very nice, I think. And then again, there's our face parts included. We also have some decals for optional eye decals if you want to put those on. So I'm guessing we're probably going to have some blank faces in here as well that you can put the decals on if you want to. The list price for this one is 7,000 yen. It is a little bit takai, I feel like, but it is keeping in line with this series. It's similarly priced as what we've seen for the rest of the series. So there's those blank faces as I was talking about. We'll take a look at all of these contents here. Just a moment. Just want to take a quick look here at the manual first. Right here, we're going to have the same box art on the front of the manual. On the back side, just the Sousai Shojo Teien logo. On the inside, again, just different photographs of the kit with illustrations. You can swap heads and hair parts there, of course, between the different kits in the line. And then we've got different option sets available, like the after school sets, like the drink and table. And I believe this lounge chair is also in one of the after school sets that is available as well. Just option sets that you can get sold separately. And then there is also, of course, the YouTube channel, and there's QR codes here for the Twitter account and official website for the Sousai Shojo Teien line. A little kind of snippet of a manga there, very cool. And interestingly, as is normal for the line, the parts list is on a separate page, not bound in the manual, but it's a separate page which is in full color there for the parts list. Also shows you the decals and everything that's included on there. The rest of the manual just goes through the construction of the kit, and it's going to be, obviously not the most complex kit, so pretty quick construction probably for this one until we get to the very end here, where we've got this section which I think is really cool. They include in here the original color simulation, where you could take a photo or scan this page into your computer and try out some different color schemes on it, and you have your space for your color swatches right here. That's really cool. Here's a look at some photos here. I believe this is the Kotobukiya web shop exclusive. So if you guys didn't know, Kotobukiya web shop exclusive versions of these are kind of like P Bandai, but they're just straight up like alt color versions of all of these releases, which in Japan are only through Kotobukiya's online store, I believe. But I know here in the US, we get them here at USA Gundam Store. So if you guys are interested, we do usually have these on the site. You guys can check them out. But that looks like that's what's going to be the alternate color version here for this kit, which does look pretty nice. Speaking of colors, we've got our color guide right over here, and then the color and decal guide. So obviously we're going to have decals just for the eyes, but there is a little decal guide there for you as well. And on that note, here's a look at the waterside decals. I just want to give you a really nice close-up look at these so you can appreciate how good those decals look, the coloring and everything for them. They look really, really nice, so plenty of options there. So up next, taking a look at our pre-painted parts, here are our faces. As always, the printing quality and detail on these looks fantastic. I mean, even to the eyebrows, the mouth, the rosy cheeks, not only just the eyes, but everything on these looks very, very good. And a couple of other pre-painted parts here is going to be the white stripe for the strap of the shoes across the feet parts. And then we also have this part for the hat, which has the white stripe also painted on that. We've also got our hand parts here. It looks like holding hands, different types of holding hands, pointing hands there, more holding hands, other kind of just like closed fist hands, open expressive hands, and more like cup holding hands there. Getting into the runners then, runners A and B are going to be all of our skin tone parts here for the kit. Looks very nice. Runner C is going to be all of our blank faces in case you wanted to custom paint these or use those waterside decals or something, you can do that. Then runners D, E, G, and H are going to be all of our hair parts here in red. Basically, each runner represents a different hairstyle. Runner H there, where runner G is basically the part for the bangs, and then a cell phone part on here as well. The reason we have 6 of those, even though there's 3 different hairstyles, is because this set is for if you want to have glasses. This set is if you're not using the glasses. Runner I is going to be the majority of our swimsuit parts here in white. Runner J here, one more little white bow piece there for the swimsuit. Runner K is the blue parts for the swimsuit in this very nice light blue color. Runner L is some more white parts here, looks like for the shoes. Runner M is this sparkly clear blue part there for a wristband, I believe, kind of for that. Runner N is this clear part here. I'm not exactly sure what this is for. I'll have to see in the manual what this interesting looking clear part is for. We'll find out in just a moment. Runner O is some additional hand parts here. I think this is for like holding the hat on the head. Runner P we have 2 of, which is just going to be all of our wrist joint parts there in skin tone color. Runner R is in plain clear as well for all of our glasses parts. And then runner U here is going to be in clear blue for the base. I'm not sure if this was intentionally labeled as runner U as sort of like a nod to umi, which is the Japanese word for like the sea, the ocean. And so they labeled runner U as just kind of like a wink and a nod. I have a feeling that's probably the case, so that's kind of interesting. Alright guys, here she is all built up, and I'm gonna attempt to put the hat on there for you guys. There's nothing that holds the hat onto the head, so it'll be fine when it's posed, although just for me waving it around in the air, it's not really going to want to stay on there very well. But it's a beautiful kit as always here from the line. It looks really great. This swimsuit, especially just the clothing on it, is so really nicely designed that I think it just looks fantastic. Some really cool option parts in here as well. Some nice new additions to the options, which is nice. So we'll go over all of that here in just a second. But as always guys, really enjoyed this addition to the line, and it's nice to see Kotobukiya continuing to put some nice effort into these releases. So obviously this hat is going to be one of the accessories, and yeah, like I said, unfortunately there's no way that it like sticks to the head. I think it kind of would have been nice if they would have made like a optional part here for like these hair parts that has a little tab that sticks up or something that could have plugged into there. The nice part about this is that, you know, they just kind of focused on making the hair look as good as possible without having a tab sticking up, but I think they could have made it as like an optional piece or something. Maybe it would have been nice. Otherwise, when it's posed, I mean, it stays on there, it balances on the head well enough, but you may want to think about just maybe put like a piece of double-sided tape or something in there just to make sure that stays where you want it to stay. But speaking of the head, we've got our 3 different hairstyles here, and each one you can have fully built at the same time. All you have to do is just pop off the head off the ball joint and swap those out. So here's 2 of our hair option parts here, and then 2 of the optional faces here. Then obviously our 3rd option part here, I did put the glasses on this one, and there's another one of our face option parts. The hair at the back is basically going to be the main difference, where it's like kind of half tied like that. And on the note of the glasses, you can have these different bang parts that have this little notch cut out in the side there. That's for holding the glasses parts. You could have the glasses on all of the heads or none of the heads. You have the option parts to have those on all of them or none of them if you want. And then we do also have another set of glasses which are folded up for being able to just use for like to hold in the hand or to display, however you might want to use those. Our 4th face option part here is going to be like that, and again the faces on these look really nice. The painting and just the finish on them just looks fantastic. Inside the neck, the ball joint is a little bit different, kind of the piece that we're using for that, but it works the same, and we do have some optional pieces here. If you wanted to use like a Frame Arms Girl head or a Megami Device head, you're going to use some of these different option parts there for the neck ball joint on that. Moving down to the hands, we've got a bunch of different option parts, from open resting hands like this. You've got kind of more open expressive hands, to fists which are not like closed fists. We don't have closed fists with these kits, but you do have these which are kind of like mostly closed, as well as pointing finger hands like this. And then a number of different types of holding hands depending on what you want to hold. If it's a circle, if it's like one of the cup accessories from this set, or if it's something that has like a more square handle like the bag accessories that a lot of these kits in this series have, you have to use that one. If it's a kind of just more of like a square shape, or if it was like a handle to like a rifle or something like that, maybe a gun. And then this, which is also could be just kind of like a sort of different holding hand, but this hand is quite useful for holding the cell phone. And on that note, once again, the cell phone that we have included with this one is nicely detailed on there, but it's all just going to be molded in one color. But yeah, this hand works pretty well for holding the phone. It is still going to be a little bit of a balance in there. It's not in there super tightly, but it works pretty well for that. Moving a little bit further on down here to the lower body, this is our option body part for this one, is to have the legs like this. Now you can use this in a couple of different ways. These legs are actually optional because all these will do is just give you a like fully bent knee without having the actual knee joint in there. So those just look a little bit nicer. But if you just take the legs off the kit here with the articulated knee, plug them onto this alternate part here for the lower body, you can just have the kit just sitting like this with the legs bent or with the legs straight, I guess, if you wanted to do that. But this part here for the lower body just allows you to do a more natural looking sitting pose like that. And that brings us to this clear part. So that's what I was wondering what this clear part is. This is actually a little thing for the kit to sit on. So you can have it sitting on this for your display. Now, because of the height of it, if you had it sitting like this, you'd have to have the legs kind of a little bit extended out like that, or kind of bent all the way back in, which you can't really do. And that's where those like fixed pose knee legs are going to come in handy. So you can plug those onto there, have her sitting like this, and then you're just gonna swap the feet onto this one here, and then you can have her sitting on this like that, and it should look quite nice. We'll see how that looks here in just a moment. But on a quick note about the feet, that's going to bring us to our last accessories here for the kit. We have these sandaled feet, like high heel sandals here, which do look really nice. But then we also have optional bare feet. So we have ones that are just flat on the bottom. Then we have another set which have the toes pointed down. And then we have another set which has the toes pointed up. So depending on the pose, exactly kind of what you wanted to do with that, you can choose the right feet for the job. Last thing, of course, then we have the standard puzzle piece shaped base here, which will allow you for a ball joint movement there at the bottom. At the top, this is also on a small little ball joint, so you can change the angle of that. You can also raise and lower that along this rod there. And this has a little kind of extension piece just so that you can plug this in more comfortably into the back of the kit there, just because otherwise it might be a kind of tight fit, this being very close to the back side of the skirt right there. But overall, just on the kit itself, I mean, we're going to have the standard range of articulation here for this line, really quite nice, but a lot of really great details on this. This bracelet part here, obviously optional. You can have that on either side, or you can omit it entirely if you want. The skirt is going to limit your articulation a bit, as you obviously can't bring the leg up any higher than this pre-molded skirt piece is going to allow, so that is going to be a little bit of a hindrance when it comes to your posing. But otherwise, I mean, the kits are pretty easy to pose and they look really nice. So overall, another really great addition to the line and a great addition to the lineup of swimsuit beach versions of these characters that we now have a few different versions of now out in the Sousai Shojo Teien line. It will be nice, I think it's beginning of next year when we've got another new character joining the lineup. That'll be really fun. As we just had the All Japan Hobby and Model Show, I think it is, right? And Kotobukiya had some new Sousai Shojo Teien stuff on display there, which looked pretty nice. So looking forward to more releases in the line always, but this one is really nice. I think the style of the swimsuit and everything does also just kind of fit the character's design. So, I mean, as usual with these, I think just in terms of the character design, that is something that's always really nice about these kits. And it was cool to see the addition of a couple of new types of accessories here with this one. That's something that I have been kind of saying since the second release in the line, because, you know, with the first release, we had the set of accessories that came with that. And then ever since then, we've had kind of very similar accessories with every release, and I've always kind of wished that they would include a bit more in the sets. Obviously, they have the after school sets, which give you more accessories, but those are different accessory sets that are sold separately. I do wish that they would kind of give a little bit more of variation in the accessories that are included with the main kits, but aside from that, I think you get a good amount of stuff in here to give you plenty of posing options for however you might want to display the kits. So as always, guys, let me know what you think of it down in the comment section below, and if you want to check out some of these kits for yourself or anything else from Kotobukiya, whether it be other Mecha Musume kits like Frame Arms Girl or Megami Device, or other mecha kits or anything else, also figures as well. Kotobukiya makes some really nice looking statues of different anime characters also. You can check it all out at USA Gundam Store. Like I said, the link is down in the video description. Until next time, thank you guys all so much for all of your support, liking the video, commenting, and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.